Hi everyone, this is Dr. Santosh. Today I'm going to answer the question why we get live birth with few trisomies only. That we get live birth of trisomies 13, trisomies 18 and trisomies 21. Trisomy 13 is Patau syndrome, 18 is Edwards syndrome and 21 is Down syndrome. So I'll explain why we get trisomies of this only, this chromosome related to this chromosome only, and monosomy is related to X chromosome, So, and also you'll see there will be sex chromosome aneuploidies. For example, Klinefelter syndrome, Turner syndrome. I'll give you explanation why only this kind of aneuploidy exists, why other type of aneuploidy does not exist. To understand this concept, you really need to understand a concept of gene dosage. What is gene dosage? So before we understand the concept of gene dosage, let's say the number of gene per chromosome. So as you know, the total number of expected gene in human genome is between 20,000 to 25,000. Okay, it is actually 1.5% of the whole genome. 1.5% of whole genome, that is 48 megabase of whole genome, contain this many genes, 20,000 to 25,000. When you calculate also 20,000 to 25,000, if you divide it by haploid set of chromosome is 23. So when you divide it by 23, so how many gene you get per chromosome is about 1,000 gene you will get per chromosome. So it is average is 1,000 genes present per chromosome. But that all chromosomes, they are not of same size. Okay, they don't have the same number of base pairs, and the chromosome has been number given based on their size, number of base pairs. So you can see that chromosome number 1 has highest number of base pair, and then chromosome 22 has the lowest number of base pairs. We segregate this sex chromosome. So sex chromosome will lie somewhere in between around this 6 to 12. Okay, especially X chromosome lies between 6 to 12. And Y chromosome completely different, very small. Y chromosome is very small and it has only the least number of genes. There very small chromosome and least amount of gene is present in the Y chromosome. Okay, so if you can see here, the highest number of gene is present in chromosome number 1 and the lowest number of gene is present in Y chromosome, sex chromosome. But if you see autosomes, you can find that lowest number of genes is present on chromosome 21. That is the reason you see the patient with Down syndrome living little longer than the other patient. Even Edward and Patau syndrome patient, they cannot live longer. Even we get a live birth, but they cannot live longer. And if there is abnormality happens with other genes, you can see there will be chromosome number 7 has about 1,000 genes, chromosome number 12 has 1,000. So they have, all of them have more than 500 genes. And if you see these 3 chromosomes, chromosome 13, chromosome 18 and chromosome 21, they have less than 500 genes. Now let's come to gene dosage. What is that gene dosage? So there is a concept called gene dosage and gene dosage imbalance. In Patau syndrome, in Turner syndrome, in Edwards syndrome, all these chromosome aneuploidy, what happens is there is some gene dosage imbalance. So to understand what is that gene dosage imbalance, let's understand what is gene dosage. Gene dosage is the number of gene per cell. So let's say a particular gene, we have diploid chromosome. So generally there are 2 sets of alleles or 2 sets of gene for every gene. There are 2 alleles for every gene. Now what will happen? There are 2 genes, except for few genes there are almost 2 genes. So example, there are 2,000 genes on the chromosome, and that 2,000 gene will be on maternal chromosome number 1 and paternal chromosome number 2. Same thing will be there. So there will be 2 sets of gene. Every gene will be in 2 sets. But what will happen in this trisomies? What will happen? The doses, the gene doses will be triple here, 3 times. But when it happens here for chromosome number 1, because chromosome number 1 has 2,000 genes, if that triplets, there will be huge imbalance in gene doses. But while if you see it happens with chromosome 13, chromosome 18 or chromosome 21, then there will be imbalance, but imbalance will not be very high as compared to the imbalance that happens when other chromosome number increases or decreases. So that is why you won't see live birth trisomies of chromosome 1. It is not that chromosome 1 trisomy does not happen. It happens, but the baby, the embryo dies. Zygote does not convert into embryo and individual. That is the reason you see trisomies of only this chromosome 13, chromosome 18 and chromosome 21, because there is gene imbalance but less gene dosage imbalance in comparison to other chromosome having higher number of genes. So this is the reason you can see, you'll find trisomies of especially Down syndrome, trisomies 21, live birth, and patient lives a pretty well life. And you will see this Edward syndrome patient, but this patient does not have a good life expectancy. You can find some of the live birth, but after some days or within a year the patient dies. This is all about gene dosage imbalance. Thank you.